Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Yasir, and uh, today's session is our last session of tourism and international development, which is assignment session. Can you see my screen and can you hear my voice, Tulani? Any
Yeah,
issues or anything else?
yeah,
Okay. So this is assignment discussion. Before I go further, we will quickly, will review our previous sessions. Uh, so let's get started. In our first lecture, we explored fundamental theories of international development and their role in differentiating the development status of various countries. So we began by appraising key theoretical approaches that provide frameworks to understand the dynamics of development. These theories often address economic, social, and political factors and how they interplay to influence the growth of nation. Prominent theories such as modernization theory, dependency theories, uh, and world system theory were discussed to highlight the diversity of perspective in international developments. So, modernization theory, for example, viewing development as a linear process that all countries can achieve by following similar stages, focus on economic growth, industrialization, and political reform. In contrast, dependency theory suggests that underdeveloped nations are often exploited by wealthier nations, creating a dependency cycle that limits their progress. Uh, then here we are talking about session one. So, world system theory, we discussed world system theory further expands on this by classifying countries as core, uh, illustrating how global economic system reinforce inequalities. Furthermore, we discussed into differentiating the development status of countries based on these theories by examining factors such as GDP, income inequality, and access to education and healthcare. These theories offer valuable insights into why some countries remains underdeveloped despite efforts to improve their status. Uh, so, in after our first session in the second lecture, we shifted our focus into the role of institutions. Okay, understanding the role of institution in the international development context. So this is here. So in the context of international development, so institutions, both government and non-government, play a significant role in facilitating development efforts across various levels, local nations, and international. We began by describing the global international development context, recognizing that development initiatives require cooperative efforts across borders to address complex global challenges such as poverty, health, and education. Key development institutions were outlined, including the National United Nations, World Bank, and International Monetary Funds, or IMF. So these institutions provide funding, expertise, and support to drive development initiatives Additionally, regional organizations like if you remember, we discussed African Union and the European Union contribute to development goals by offering localized solutions that cater to the specific needs of their member states. At the local level, governments and community-based organizations implement strategies tailored to address immediate development needs, making institutions at the level essentials for cohesive development. Then, in our third lecture, be able to apply measurement of development to countries using tourism of development. So here explain a range of measures of development, uh, make judgment about the development status of countries using tourism by applying development indicators. So basically, in this session, we introduced this lecture introduced the concept of development measurements and how they are applied to assess the development status of countries that utilize tourism as a means of growth. Development indicators are essential for understanding a country progress and identifying areas of improvement. A range of development measures was discussed, including gross domestic product or GDP, Human Development Index or HDI, and Gini coefficient. So these indicators provide a snapshot of economic health, social equality, and quality of life within a country. We also explained how these indicators can be applied specifically to countries that rely on tourism for development. Tourism as an industry can stimulate economic growth by creating jobs, attracting foreign investments, and generating revenue. Uh, evaluating however evaluating a country's development status through tourism requires more than just financial metrics. It includes assessing the social and environmental impact of tourism. For example, while tourism can boost the economy, it may also lead to environmental degradation of cultural commodifications if not managed responsibly. So basically, by applying development indicators to tourism development countries, we were able to understand the broader implications of tourism on a nation development status. These insights are essential for policymakers who aim to use tourism as a tool for sustainable development, ensuring that tourism's economic benefits do not come at the expense of social and environmental health. Any questions so far
No.
regarding session one, two, three? Any question?
No.
Okay, so finally, in our last session, we explored uh, analyze the relation between international tourism and sustainable development and we explain the impact of tourism in emerging destinations. We also analyze the relationship between international tourism and sustainable development and evaluate how tourism can be used to meet international developments. So, we explored the complex relationship between international tourism and sustainable development. Tourism has significant impacts on emerging destinations, which may experience both positive and negative effects. On one hand, tourism can stimulate economic growth and create job opportunities, but on the other hand, it can lead to overcrowding, resource depletion, and cultural erosion. So, this dual nature of tourism underscores the importance of sustainable tourism practices to minimize its adverse effects while maximizing its benefit. We then analyzed how international tourism and sustainable developments are interconnected. Sustainable development in tourism involve promoting practices that ensures that long-term health of both nature and cultural resources. This includes policies that reduce environmental impacts, protect local communities, and priorities conservation efforts. For example, ecotourism and responsible travel initiatives aim to preserve the environment while providing authentic experience for tourists. Furthermore, we evaluated how tourism can be strategically utilized to meet international development goals. So, by aligning tourism policies with development objectives, countries can use tourism to support goals such as poverty alleviation, infrastructures development, and cultural preservation. So, this approach ensures that tourism growth aligns with broader international goals, creating balance between economic benefits and sustainable practices. Any questions so far?
No.
Okay. So now we will move to the assignment discussion. So here it's a scenario: you are working as an advisor for Easy Travel for Manager has asked you to investigate the viability of some emerging and developing economies to identify their suitability as a new tourist destination. So task one of two, and uh, you need to visit first, second, and third session, and then for presentation, which is task two, uh, you can revisit your session for lecture 4.1, 2, and 3. So, task one objective: write an essay as follow. As an advisor, you are tasked with investigating emerging economies to determine their potential as a tourist destination. So, your essay should evaluate international development context, focusing on countries classified by the IMF as emerging market and development, economies. So, global international development context uh, describe the role of international bodies. Describe the role of international bodies like the World Bank, IMF, and UN in supporting global development and how they foster economic growth. Uh, in this section, details such institutions' influence on developing economies and how they contribute to economic stability. Country selections and institutions' role. Uh, Choose for emerging, you know, economies from the IMF list, and the list relevant NGOs, local and national agencies in each, explain each agency's role in development projects. Uh, Example, identify agencies like UNICEF, USAID, or local government bodies and describe their contributions to economic and social development. Development indicators table: create a table with indicators like GDP, literacy rate, life expectancy, and HDI for each country. Include a legend explaining these indicators. Uh, for example, gather data for each country and present it in a tabular format. Define each indicator for identify. clarity. Assessment of a development status using the table, evaluate the development level of each country, commenting on economic progress, education, and healthcare quality. Analyze the indicators in your table and draw conclusions about each country's growth and challenges. So, analyzing using development theories. uh, Apply modernizations and dependencies theories to assess the selected countries, discussing each theory view on development, explain how modernization theory suggests these economic can progress by adopting Western style industrializations. Uh, a review of theoretical unfullness, theoretical models unfullness, conclude by evaluating how effectively each model applies to your selected countries, addressing limitations in assessing their development contexts, uh, summarize your analysis, stating whether these theories provide practical insights into each country's development perspectives. So, word count 1500 words for this task. Okay. References, as you know, that you already done some, assignment previously. So, use Harvard reference system throughout your work, citing sources to support each point. Formatting, maintain professional formatting with clear headings, subheadings, and consistent font style. Then task two, presentation. Prepare and deliver a presentation for your manager as follow, with references to two or more countries. Explain the impacts, positive or negative, that tourism can have on destinations. In particular, review the ways in which tourism can be used to sustainable developments, evaluate how tourism can be used to meet international development goals. Delivery presentations, 10 minutes, and executive summary, 300 words. Submissions, presentation slides, executive summary, and also one lecture feedback form. Uh, in task two, have you got any question regarding task one, Chalani?
No.
Okay. So in task two, you are required to prepare and deliver a presentation to evaluate the viability of emerging economies as new tourist destinations for easy travel. So this presentation should cover two main points: the impact of tourism on these destinations and tourism's role in achieving international development goals. Guidelines for tasks to select and analyze emerging economies, choose two or more countries with emerging or developing economies, research their current tourism industry, potential tourism, tourist attraction, and overall infrastructures. Explain the positive and negative impact of tourism, which you can look at if you look at 4.1. Both positive impacts such as economic growth, job creation, and cultural exchange, and negative impacts like environmental degradation, cultural uh, commodification. So use examples for selected countries. Then evaluate tourism for sustainable development. So explain how tourism can support sustainable development in each selected countries. For example, discuss ecotourism, community-based tourism, and sustainable infrastructure developments. Assess tourism role in meeting international development goals. Evaluate how tourism can align with global development goals such as poverty reductions, environmental sustainability, and education. I use examples to show how tourism initiatives support these objectives. Okay. So, submission or delivery guidelines, submit your presentation slides, or uh, you can submit in PDF or PowerPoint format, okay, and an executive summary of 300 words summarizing key points of the presentations. Have you got any question about task two?
No.
Okay. So presentation is just as I said, you can submit your presentation in PDF or PowerPoint format. Okay. Referencing again and evidence, this structure approach will help you effectively complete both tasks. Okay, scenario management report allows you to explore management strategies and system in depth, while the presentation will refine your communication skills and understanding of tourism's social economic impacts. So use this guidelines to ensure a through well researched and professionally presented submission. uh, Also, when you paraphrasing, ensure you fully understand the material and rewrite in new structure, style, language, or even in your own words. Avoid using uh, refer to a basically multiple source to avoid over reliance on any single source, and to enrich your work with diverse perspectives, engaging with the ideas critically, and combine information from different authors to create an original narrative. One main thing students get confused over, which is command of verb. Have you got any idea about command of verbs?
No.
Okay. So basically, in academic and professional reports, action verbs are often used to guide students on how to respond to assessment criteria. So I explain a bit, like there is a difference between describe, create, or compare, define, example. So make sure, look at your assignment, what is he's asking for. Let's say compare. When you compare, you identify the similarities and differences between two or more concepts. Okay. So if he's asking about define, so when asked to define, you are expected to clearly explain the meaning of concepts. Examine means requires you to analyze and investigate topic closely. You must look at details of a concept or process. Then evaluate. Uh, this asks you to critically assess the value or effectiveness of some things. Create, you need to develop construct something new based on given information or your knowledge. If is uh, asking for explanation or explain, when you explain something, you are expected to make it clear by providing detailed information and showing how or why it works. So design, you are asked to formulate and create a structure or plan. Okay. So in for further detail about command of verb, you can visit your learning management system, or if not, if you can search on Google, you will see that what is command of verbs. So they will explain every single command of verbs. Report structures. Uh, obviously essential part of the assignments and must follow a professional and structured format to meet the assessment criteria of page first title page containing title of report, your name, module name, assignment number, for example, task one and date of submissions. Then table of contents provide an overview of your report structures, including page numbers. It should include all the headings and subheadings in the report. Executive summary. This section provide a concise summary of the entire report. It should briefly maintain the purpose of the report, the key areas covered, and your major findings. Keep it short, around uh, 200 or 300 words, but ensure it highlights the main points. When introduction should set the stage for the reader, it must clearly define the scope of the report, introduce the context of the report, state the objectives of the report, for example, provide an overview of the report structures. References, a list of source used to the report, formatting according to Harvard reference system, and that's it. Report format. Uh, Obviously, use Time New Roman or Arial fonts, spacing 1.5. These are a basic things I hope you already knows. Margin 2.54 centimeter. I think so it's a 1 inch. Heading and subheadings, page numbers, uh, on bottom right corner of the each page, then tables and figures. If you include tables or figures, label them appropriately, for example, table 1 figure 1, and provide a brief caption below each. So this structure and format will help you complete the assignment successfully, ensuring that each section addresses the assessment criteria in detail. So that's it for today, Tolani. This was our last session of assignment. Any questions, any concerns, any issues?
No.
Okay, thank you very much, Tolani, for joining me this morning, and good luck for your assignment and your future modules and qualifications. Thank you very much, and hopefully I'll see you for any other modules. And good luck for your assignment, okay?
Thank you.
So if you have any question, any concern, you can drop me an email at yasir@ukversity.co.uk. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Tulani. Thank you very much and have a good weekend. Okay. Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you. Have a good day. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.